something exploded in my stomach.
Sure.
In my bowel, something exploded, and I had to be rushed to the theater, and they helped me. They did the thingy, then they helped me. Then after coming out of theater, I spent like 2 days, and after 2 days, something happened again.
Sure.
Now they had to rush me back to the theater, and this time they were like, "At this point, anything can happen." That's what they told my family because I was unconscious. I could not.
Welcome to the Safe Space Chats podcast with Madam Speaker. My name is Perseverance Maremeni, also known as Madam Speaker, also known as the CEO of Self Love. If you're joining for the first time, welcome to the family of healing, self-love, and motivation. And if you're returning, thank you so much for the continuous love and support that you are showing me. A big shout out to Virtuous Indoni Lodge. Guys, when you see me looking this beautiful, I sleep proper 8 hours. All thanks to Virtuous Indoni Lodge. A big shout out to E2 Hair Studios because, now I look like wife material, decent hair. A big shout out to Crown Lioness for dressing me up. A big shout out to Hydro Quench. They make sure that they keep us quenched. You understand that? A big shout out to Send Studios, our home for recording all our podcast episodes. And a big shout out to Perseverance, apparently, because she did the makeup. But anyway, guys, without any further ado, we're going to go straight into our episode for today. We have a handsome guest. Guys, I'm so used to having beautiful guests, So I almost said we have a beautiful guest, but we actually have a handsome guest next to us. And I'm gonna allow our guest to introduce himself, and then we go straight into it. Hi, my brother.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Thank you.
You see, I'm always used to having beautiful people.
Yo, I
now
can
we
tell.
have a handsome one. Please do
thank you.
introduce yourself to the people.
Okay, so my name is Thembekile Funani. Originally I'm from Val.
Okay.
I was born in Everton. Then I grew up in Sebokeng Zone 14, but currently now I stay in Sandton, Rivonia.
Okay.
Yeah, right now I'm a recent graduate in graphic designing.
Wow.
Yeah, but then I'm still working as a bureau operator at Netstar. Yeah, and I'm also a freelancer, a motivational speaker, and I have my own clothing brand.
Can you tell me a little bit about your upbringing?
Oh, my upbringing.
Yeah.
It's an interesting upbringing because I was born in an environment where it's a bit, I wouldn't say rural, but it is not suburban or, So I grew up in Val. It's a bit in the middle of, I wouldn't say suburb, but it's more like a township, a Kasi. So that's where I grew up. So my personality comes from Val.
Okay.
So my upbringing was kind of interesting because I grew up like a normal kid, as like a naughty, fun, full of life. And I tried like a lot of things. I've tried DJing, I've tried rapping. So it was a quite interesting childhood.
So you used to explore a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Even people still today, they still ask me, what happened to being a DJ?
Yeah.
What happened to being a rapper?
Yeah.
I'm like, I can still do it, but I'm focusing on other things now.
What made you, or is it because I do believe that in as much as you can have a lot of gifts, but because 24 hours is not enough in a day, for one to actually explore all of them, is it because of that maybe that you don't have enough time for you to explore all the gifts that you have?
I think it's because I don't have enough time to like explore all of them. And one thing I've noticed about me is I need to focus on one thing so that achieve it first, be good at it, then move to another thing. So me doing many things at the same time kind of delayed me into getting good at one thing. Yeah, but now I'm currently focusing on being an editor.
Okay.
Yeah, I shoot my own music videos, I shoot my own content, I edit pictures. Yeah, that's what I'm mainly focused on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, that is good. So earlier on, off camera, we were speaking about some challenges that you came across in life,
Oh yeah.
Do you want to share that a bit
Yeah,
of that with us?
of course. I would love to.
Yeah.
I would love for people to know about the disability that I have because it's very rare. Like a lot of people don't know it because it's very rare.
Okay.
And it was people that kind of discovered it around 1994.
Okay.
That's when it was discovered. But there was one person that had it before that, but they didn't know it was that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I grew up with a disability called crutches syndrome.
Okay.
Yeah. So this syndrome is where your body cells, they overgrew.
Okay.
And in my case, it affected my bones, my bones and skin.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have a club foot, which is why I need to wear my own special made shoes,
Okay.
and it also affected my back, which is why I have like an overgrown back, and also my bones. Sometimes I have like much more skinnier, and my left leg because it's shorter, doesn't grow as faster as the other one. Yeah. So I didn't really know, or I didn't really pay attention to my condition until I got to be bullied about it.
Okay.
I didn't really know. I grew up as a normal kid until I was treated different.
Okay.
So me realizing that I have a disability, it was when a kid in primary told me that I'm carrying a bag. So for me, my bag was normal because people were treating it as a normal bag.
Yeah.
But then there's this kid telling me that I'm carrying a bag, even though I'm not carrying a bag. So that's when I was like, oh, I'm kind of different. Because before I could walk without crutches, my legs were fine. It was just my back. That's when I realized that I'm different from other kids. Then, yeah, I asked my mom about it. Yeah, by the way, my mom is my biggest fan. I love my mom a lot because she's the one that made me this person that I am today.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I asked my mom about it, or what's going on? Like, why do I have this thing on my back? My mom was like, you have a disability. But at that time, she did not know what was it called. She did not know. But I was attending at a hospital. Yeah. So she told me that I have a disability, and I didn't know what's that. Like, when they say someone is disabled, in my mind, I would think someone that walks in an unusual way. But I was like, I'm normal. I walk normal. So what do you mean I have like a disability? Then yeah, I did not take that well. I feel like that's why in my life I've tried so many things. I was naughty because I did not want to accept that I was different. I was always trying to prove that no,
fit
I'm
in.
not. Yeah, I wanted to fit in. I wanted to like people say that I'm not different. I don't have a disability. I never liked that word. When someone said disability, I would be triggered. I remember even in class when they talk about disability, and let's say a teacher says, this kid is disabled, I would be triggered. I would feel like now everyone's gonna look at me and say, oh, you're disabled. I did not like it. Yeah, then how I got to a point where I was now starting to accept the whole thing. It was a struggle. It was a really uh, struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So primary bullied, moved on. Now moving to high
High
school.
school. Yeah.
Moving to high school. Now I started working with crutches.
Okay. So what led to you having to now start working with crutches?
Also, a thing about my disability is that anything can happen, anything can change. I can just wake up in the morning and I have a bump on my leg or my
Okay.
bone has turned. It just happens.
Okay. So it's
So
just random
yeah, it just happens.
developments,
Yeah,
new developments, for
yeah,
lack of a
yeah,
better word.
yeah. It's just
Yeah.
neat. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So me working with crutches, it was a thing of woke up, went to play with other kids, and I got hurt a bit on my leg. Went to the hospital. When I got to the hospital, like, nah, this leg of yours is no longer gonna work properly. It's a club foot now. So for you to balance, yeah, the crutches. That's how I started working with crutches.
Okay.
And it was really hard because I never thought I would work with crutches in my life. Yeah. So that's how I started working with crutches by just hitting my leg a bit. Yeah. Then now going to high school,
High school.
working with crutches, it was challenging for me to find a proper school for me because working with crutches, there are no elevators in schools and that, yeah. So I wanted to find like a proper school for me and I could not find one. Then, yeah, my mother was really like trying so hard to find me like a proper school I'm going to be comfortable with. Then she found a school called Moshata Secondary School. Yeah, so Moshata Secondary School, the only difference is that they have ramps
Okay.
and they still stairs.
Okay.
Yeah. So she thought like it's better because it's a township school. It's a
Okay,
public
because I
school.
wanted to ask that, is it far away from where you were staying now, or is it still within the vicinity?
Yeah, it's still around, but I used to go there with transport.
Transport, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So the only thing what was better about the school is they had ramps.
Okay.
And they've put in the ramps because there was also a kid that was disabled using a wheelchair. So that's why they've put. So my mom was like, okay, at least they have ramps. You won't have to climb the stairs. They can maybe put you in a class that is down on the first ground. I'm like, okay. Then I applied there. They accepted me there. Now, thing is, funny story. How I went to first day of my first day going to high school. Funny thing is, I did not know the school. So my mom applied, did everything. I've never seen the school before in my life.
Yeah.
So the transport came and fetched me. I was wearing my new uniform. I was happy about it. I'm going to a new school. But kind of nervous because
Yeah.
now I don't have any friends there. I don't know how they're going to treat me, how they're going to view me. So, yeah, so the transport came and my mom was like, oh, good luck. It was really nice. Then the transport took me to a wrong school.
Huh.
Transport took me to a wrong school.
Yeah.
When I got there, I'm like, nah, this uniform is different from mine.
Yes.
But the shirt was blue. The only thing that was different was that the hat. It had a badge of Mashate. And I was like, nah, I can't embarrass myself. I'm just going to go with it.
So you went in?
I got in. I took out the hat, the hat with the badge. I took it out, went inside the school. I was like, no more. Funny thing, no one realized that I'm like, I don't belong. Like,
Yeah.
They didn't realize.
Yeah.
Even got to class, got my own chair. I even made new friends my first day. It was really fun. Then on a lunch break, my mom came because the school, Mashata Secondary School, they could not see me. They like, called my mom, like, where's the kid? We were expecting. Then my mom was like, oh, call the transport. Where's my kid? I was like, nah, I dropped him at school. Which school? They came to my school at lunch. And as I was about to leave, the principal of the school was like, nah, you cannot take him.
Huh.
He belongs here now.
Yeah.
Mom was like, nah, everything has been arranged. They're like, nah, we like him. He must stay. Mom was like, nah, it's okay then. But then I went to Mashati then.
Also, you had to leave eventually.
Yeah, I had to leave because everything was there in Mashati. Like
Yeah.
the paperwork, everything, admission was there. Yeah.
Okay, so now when you go into secondary school to this school, Mushate, is it Mushate?
Yeah, it's Mashati.
How was it like there?
Okay, my first grade, it was not really well. I mean, I'm new. It's the first time people see someone like me. So, yeah, bit of bullying. But my brother was doing his grade 12. So he was a bit of like protective of me. So it was not that bad because every time they make fun of me, I would go to him crying.
Was he also in the same school as you?
Yeah, I was in the same school. So I would go to him crying, bro, they said this to me. Then I go to the kids, stop doing this to him and stuff. Yeah, it kind of helped. But now, when I was in grade 9, things were a bit better now because they've gotten used to me. But I was still not okay about being the different and the only kid that is disabled.
You had not accepted yourself by then?
I feel like I had not accepted myself.
Yeah.
That's why I kept on trying to prove that I'm not different. Yeah. Then things were okay in grade 10 because I've discovered what I really like, and which was drawing, designing. So that kind of made me not be the different disabled kid. It made me the creative kid in school. Because I remember I used to draw school shirts for other learners. I was that, like now the cool kid that knows how to draw. If there's a project, they would want me to join them in the project so that we can design something cool. So now in grade 10, I was starting to be that cool kid. That's how I got to the media space.
Okay.
That's how I fell with being in front of a camera, being behind also editing, because I was becoming this cool kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I started designing with my phone
Okay.
as a graphic designer. And this to show that I really loved graphic designing is because as I was designing with a phone, I saw other posters not as good as mine, even though they were designed with a great software and computer. So, but I really wanted a computer of my own, but I could not afford one. So I started designing with a phone. But then I would also take my lunch money to go to the internet cafe, use the internet to learn how to use our softwares.
Yeah.
And I remember I tried many times to download like a free software, but I could not.
Sure.
Yeah, it was really hard.
Yeah.
But I really wanted this thing. I really wanted it. But then I met someone. that had like a computer and softwares. I used to visit him like almost every day after school, visit him so that I can design my own things on his PC. And he would teach me things. Okay, I even learned how to record music, make beats, because yeah. So that friend really like helped me a lot.
Okay.
Because he's the one that like exposed me into the editing,
Yeah.
being the creativity.
So how then did the graphic design work align with you eventually getting to a point where you accept yourself and your condition?
It's because when I saw that I can be creative and I matter. Yeah. So me seeing that I'm creative and people like what I'm doing kind of made me fall in love with myself and accept that okay, I might not know how to ride a bike, run, but I'm good at this. So that's what helped me like accept and love myself. Because I think I thought that I was useless. I thought there was nothing that I'm good at until I discovered that I'm creative and I can design, I can draw. Yeah.
Sure. That is amazing, because I'm thinking right now there could be somebody who is a young star out
Yeah.
there who's sitting at home with some other disability that is not even one that we can even give a name right now. But them seeing you, saying that you finding something that you are good at actually does help you come out of certain things. That is good, because I feel like that's gonna help a lot of people.
Yeah,
You know.
I just really hope they work hard on finding something that really good at and they focus on it, because other things are just distractions. So if they find something that they love, other things wouldn't matter. What people say wouldn't matter. What one is a good at, as long as you know that I'm good at this and you focus on it, other things don't really matter.
What would you say is the importance of family when you are dealing with a special kind of need?
Family is very important
Yeah,
because of support.
yeah.
My family has been there for me since oh, since I've been born in J. They've always been there for me.
Yeah.
They literally know everything about me. Whatever I've done, they've always been there. This is why I was very emotional on my graduation, because I was like thinking, oh, I come a long way with these people.
Yeah.
If it was not because of them, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially my mom. My mom has been there for me.
Yeah.
I remember looking for a proper varsity. I would take taxis with her. I would try there, try there. She's like, nah, you can. I've been through a lot with my mom. Yeah. So family is very important. Even in my situation, as I'm disabled, and obviously as a disabled person, you attend the hospital a lot. So I've been in many surgeries. I've done like 5 surgeries.
Sure.
So yeah, my family being there for me really helped me, because I'm pretty sure if it was not because of them, I would have like a mental breakdown or depression or something.
How has that been like? The attending surgeries. What were they saying needed to be done on you?
So as my disability, like I said, it's unpredictable. Anything can happen.
Oh, okay, yes.
Yeah. Sometimes my knee would just lock.
Okay.
So I had to be like rushed to the theater so they can find a way to unlock it. Sometimes they would want to take like a biopsy of my back and really search if I asked. Nothing new I have nothing new on my body. And recently, I think when COVID started, uh, that was my biggest surgery, because it was life-threatening. There, I was like, nah, God, come on.
Sure.
Please, come on. Because I was at my prime. It was, life was really good for me. But then it just happened like that. I had problems with my bowel. So something exploded in my stomach.
Sure.
In my bowel, something exploded, and I had to be rushed to the theater. And they helped me. They did like thingy. Then they helped me. Then after coming out of theater, I spent like 2 days. And after 2 days, something happened again.
Sure.
Now they had to rush me back to the theater. And this time they were like, at this point, anything can happen. That's what I told my family, because I was unconscious. I could not see anything. So they rushed me into the theater. They did the surgery. And I was hospitalized for like 3 months.
Sure.
And I lost mobility. I could not walk anymore. I was very skinny because I was not eating well. Yeah. That one is the one that kind of made me want to share my story and motivate. Yeah, that's what kind of made me do that. And I feel like that also happened for a reason because it kind of brought my family together.
Okay.
You know, they were visiting me almost every day. They were communicating with me. They were communicating each other. You know, I feel like that's what brought my family together even more.
Okay.
Yeah, the support they gave me.
Sure. I can only imagine, because I'm thinking to myself, when things which you can't predict, anything can happen to you at any time, then that means that probably spiritually you need to be one person who is aligned.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about that, to say, do you have to be one person that believes in something? Do you not to have to believe in anything? Because when you are walking and you don't know that walking from here to there, something could happen to me.
Yeah.
How do you handle that?
I feel like also that it's why I've been growing my relationship with God.
Okay.
That's one of the reasons also because I've never been much of a believer.
Okay.
Because of my disability, I've always thought like, God, why me? You know, so I've never been so close to God. I had so many questions for him. Sometimes I would think to myself that, okay, so they say that God creates a human being and doesn't make mistakes.
Okay.
That's how I used to think. They say God creates a human being and doesn't make mistakes. So what am I? You know, I would think that if God doesn't create mistakes, then he's not there because I look like a mistake. That's how. But then I got to I got to go to church and finally got to see that no, God doesn't make mistakes, and God loves me as much as I am. And I feel like what really made me fall in love more with God is the thing of that God is created. I'm created with God's image.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if I hate myself, that means I hate God.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, on the fun side or lighter note, challenges in dating.
Oh, challenging dating.
Yeah.
I don't really have much challenges. Eh?
Is it?
I've only encountered one partner that was very curious about me, and she was uncomfortable around me, but she loved me and she cared about me, but she didn't want to rush anything. But others, they don't really care. They're just like, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay. That's good.
What would you advocate for, or whether to be provided for
Yeah.
people who have, or people living with disabilities generally?
Okay, I can start with how people treat people with disabilities.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole thing of feeling sorry for them. It's not working out. It's not really working out. Because once you feel sorry for someone, you kind of telling them that you're different and how to treat you in a different way. So when you just treat someone with disability in a normal way that you can treat another person, kind of shows them that, they ain't really that different.
Okay.
So the whole thing of feeling sorry for people with disability, it's not really working out because, and recently someone did that to me, felt sorry for me, but it was like, bro. Sometimes I become like, I would try to like prove to them that, I can actually do this.
Yeah.
And thing up also, ask before you help.
Okay.
Always ask before you help.
Okay.
Because if you don't help, you're kind of invading someone's space. Kind of, you know.
And
You're
also
kinda-
sometimes when you're not helping, it's like you're not being considerate.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
that. But asking first kind of, sometimes you can try to help someone and they can do it. They don't really need help.
Okay.
So when you do it for them, they kind of get to used to this thing of, now I don't need to do it anymore. I can just always
Rely on
rely
others.
on someone.
I always make this joke, that us people who are orphans,
Yeah.
there are those who really want to be felt sorry for. Every time when I feel like I'm not getting things done my way, I always say, it's because I don't have a mother, But with others, it's the opposite.
Yeah.
It's like because they don't have a parent, they don't want, they want to prove that they can actually do it without the parent.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of relating it to what you are sharing now to say, it's like in Sepedi they say, ke kgomo ya moshate. You don't know whether you must help or not help, which
Yeah.
one is which one.
And the funny thing is, a lot of people would expect people with disability to be like those sweet, nice, innocent. No, sometimes you just wanna, be like any other human being. Sometimes it's for no
Yeah.
you wanna get into trouble. We just wanna be human beings.
Yeah.
So this thing of that people having this mentality that we need to always be innocent, we need to like follow rules. It kind of limits us, and now we don't find ourselves. We kind of now have this thing that we need to follow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's kind of limiting in a way, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Because I always give an example with, you see, when you have been through something in life, something hard, right? And then all of a sudden in the future, you can't share your honest opinion about other things because people will be like, don't forget when just yesterday, you were, So it's more like you can't be yourself and be like other people because of your circumstances. So I do get what you mean there.
Yeah. And thing happened also, I would laugh about it. And I like doing it a lot. I like making fun of myself. And I like to see the reaction that people, like the reaction that they give me. They say, maybe I'll say, my bag is very heavy. Can you please carry it for me? They'll be like, no. I love that, And I like that it also kind of opens,
break the ice.
Yeah, break the ice so that they can ask questions. Because I feel like a lot of able people are afraid to ask questions. So me just making jokes about my disability kind of opens up for them to like ask anything about me. What really happened to you? I feel like
Don't you get tired
of explaining? I get excited. Every time
Really?
someone asks me about disability, I get really excited. Because I want it to be exposed. I want it to be like a normal thing where people can just talk about it, not feeling like if they talk about it, they're being insensitive. And people are afraid to be like offensive. They want to offend. That's why they don't ask questions.
Yeah.
So I don't want them to be afraid of that. I want them to be open. And I want like even people living with disabilities to be comfortable with sharing and telling, explaining or teaching people about disabilities. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. You're saying that you were graduating.
Yeah, I graduated last year.
How was varsity life like?
Cool. It was really cool. It was amazing because I got to meet other creatives as me. So when I was in high school, I was more like the only creative person. So that's why I was kind of like the cool kid because people are like, oh, talented. But when I got to varsity, there were
You realized
many
that
creative people. Yeah, so I got a chance to learn from them also. And I enjoyed doing the same things as, having a group of people where I can shoot, I can edit, I can learn from. I enjoyed it a lot. Yeah.
But wasn't it a bit challenging? Because I always it's not a joke, it's a reality of my life. Ne?
Yeah.
I used to be a smart kid when I was in high school, right? I even got a distinction for maths. So I used to pride myself in that.
Yeah.
So when I went to varsity, I did maths, engineering, mathematics 1. I wasn't studying for maths because I was like, guys, you don't know me. Maths. I got 12% test number 1 because I realized that a whole bunch of us who were there, it's a bunch of smart people. So I'm not standing out anymore. Yeah. You get what I mean?
I get what you mean.
So me being able to, we are all literally a bunch of people who were selected via metric that we are smart enough to do this course. But now we are here and we all seem dumb. Like 12% in my entire life has never happened. So has it never been a thing, like when you were there in varsity, where now, in as much as you are surrounded by creatives, you realize that, okay, I'm not the brightest light in the chandelier now. That there are so many of us now, I don't even know which is which anymore.
Yeah. I feel you. It's the same thing as that.
Yeah.
But it helped me because it pushed me. But hey, now you're no longer the creative or the smartest one. Hey, you're just like the others. That's what. I had to prove myself. I had to like push myself to like stand out. Kind of helped me. Eventually, I did.
Yeah.
I did stand out.
That's great.
I did stand out.
That's great.
Because for me to get to study there, I won like a bursary. Yeah, and it was only 5 people out of 100 people. So I was selected from 100 people.
Okay.
Yeah, so that kind of made me feel like, oh, I know my thing. Yeah. So when I got there, worked really hard, and I got to be the top student, advertising student, when I graduated.
Yeah.
So I feel like if I was, I never got to meet the people that were, I was not going to push myself to that point where I'd be the top advertising
Yeah.
student.
In as much as you having the disability that you have, you struggled in the beginning to actually get to understand what it is that you have and accept. Would you say somewhere, somehow, it feels like a blessing in disguise because there are certain things
It
that
is.
you have achieved now that if maybe you were like me, you would
Yeah.
not have achieved that?
Exactly. Yeah, that's how I feel.
Mm,
I feel like my disability kind of molded me into being this person that I am.
yeah.
I feel like if I was not, I didn't have this disability, I would have just focused maybe on something that I was never good at.
Yeah.
You know, so my disability kind of like, hey, bro, here's what you're good at, focus on it. Because I used to try a lot of things, but my disability kind of pushed me, hey, this is what you're good at, focus on it. And yeah, but if I was able, I kind of feel like I wouldn't have stood out and worked hard and tried to prove myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was more like a blessing to me.
It was a blessing, ne?
Yeah, it was really a
I'm
blessing.
glad. So do you have like organizations where you educate? You know one of those where we as women we have our women's conferences where we speak about women issues.
Yeah.
You have organizations where you speak about different disabilities and challenges and all that stuff and educating those who don't know about it.
Yeah, I have a lady that I'm working with. Her name is Dora, so I call her always Dora because she's older than me.
Okay.
So we work together. Usually, she's the one that arranges everything. Maybe if there's a, let's say, example, a casual day. We are about to go to casual day. She's going to arrange me to go to various schools and motivate and talk about disability awareness.
Okay.
So yeah, I do go out and motivate and talk in public schools.
Oh, okay, that's good.
When you started the interview, you said that when you realized or when you found out about your disability, you were the second person, right? Do you know what the stats look like now?
Oh, the stats
Specifically
with the syndrome that I
your
have.
disability? Yes.
Okay, so the stats now so since it's been discovered, it's only 200 people that have been found that they have Proteus syndrome. But it's been when they estimate that it's 120 people that have died from it. So I would say maybe 80 people are still alive. So probably I'm like the only person that has it in Africa. Last time I spoke to my doctor, that's what he said. It's like I'm the only person that has it around here in Africa.
Okay.
Yeah, they've also arranged for me to do like a surgery where they like try to remove entirely everything and try to like maybe work on my bones, my feet, so I can walk a bit better without crutches. But they kind of told me that there's a lot of risk. They said that it's a 50-50 thing,
Sure.
chances of me living. So they said I might bleed to death. They might not be able to manage the bleeding. And they said also maybe they might mess up my spinal cord. I might end up in a wheelchair and not knowing how to walk or speak.
Yeah.
So I had to decide,
Okay.
is it really worth it? Do I really want to do this? Then I had to ask myself, do I really want to change this? I was like, nah, it's not really worth it. I don't think it's a thing that I would really want to change because
And I think from where you are now, where you've already accepted yourself, and you are able to manage whatever that comes your way, it's pointless for you to even try it, especially if there's a risk of you actually losing your life in the process.
Yeah.
Because if it bothered you so much that you felt like, you know what, I might as well die, then you might want to do something like that. But if you're okay with who you are and where you are, then if
I think it's because of I had to adjust. The whole thing of me adjusting and accepting. That's what made me feel like it's not really worth my life. And talking about adjusting, my own definition of having a disability is refusing to adjust.
okay,
Let's say someone might lose a leg and they don't want to adjust to working with one leg. That's a disability. But once you learn and adjust to you working with one leg, then you're not really disabled
Yeah.
because you can do things. But if you stay on a chair and say, I can't do things, I have one leg, that's when you are now disabled.
yeah,
Yeah.
sure. I hear you. The positivity, though, in this, I love how you are so positive, and I think it's going to help a lot of people out there, to say, with whatever condition or disability or anything,
Yes.
if you just have a positive mindset, then there's absolutely nothing you can conquer. Okay, so let's talk about the fun stuff now, the things you are busy with now.
Okay, currently now I have my own brand,
Okay.
Shut Down T-shirts. So how it came about, it was a thing of, I'm a creative person, I can design my own things.
Okay.
So I designed, firstly I started with a double cup. It was where I was drawing a cup full because it was trendy, So it was trendy, people were drinking with double cups. So yeah, that's how I started with the whole thing of designing T-shirts.
Okay.
But I was like, nah, like there's no direction here. Like, what's the brand about? What am I really like selling to people? Am I selling just T-shirts with a cup? Then I was like, nah, you know what? Let me create a brand that's going to uplift people. That's going to be like, once I wear this, I feel good about myself. That's how the name Shutdown came about. I designed a shirt called Shutdown. So the shutdown actually means you're shutting down anything negative in your life. So
Okay.
when you're wearing the T-shirt, everything that is negative, it's shut it down.
Sure.
If you have anxiety, if you have doubts, shut it down. It's more like a cape. When you're wearing the T-shirt, you feel like Superman.
Sure, I hear you.
Yeah. And right now, what I'm currently busy with, I'm about to start a podcast
Okay.
where I'm going to have guests, disabled people, can share their stories. Because I feel like they, they're locked into, they're not telling stories. They're locked inside the house, So I want them to be exposed, to go out there, share their stories. So that's what I'm going to start right now, a podcast for people living with disabilities.
You know you're coming back here, right? You must do your podcast here. This is the best home.
Okay,
for
definitely.
podcasts.
I like the setup. It's really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, you should come back here.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
Also happy I'm a freelancer.
Okay.
Design posters.
Okay.
I also design, sometimes I design clothes, but not really much. I also edit videos, music videos. I also shoot my own content.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are
That's
you
what I'm
like
doing these days.
social media? On social media, are you
I'm very active on social media.
Instagram?
I'm getting into YouTube, but right now I'm currently focusing on TikTok.
Is it?
Because it's the one booming right now.
No, it is booming, but there's no money,
Yeah.
You might want to take everything that you're posting on TikTok and post
move
on
it
other
to-
platforms as
yeah.
well. Like, you have nothing to lose,
Yeah.
I always influence people to join YouTube, by the way.
The thing about YouTube is really hard if you're not well known or not exposed that much.
I think if you take it like TikTok,
Yeah.
you won't have a problem. You see the way you just take your stuff and you put on TikTok?
Yeah.
Take the same stuff and you put on YouTube. Don't take it. I know that YouTube, it's like the serious people app, where it's like long form, these intros and what. No. When you're starting off, just put stuff. Whatever you put on TikTok, you put on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
You have nothing to lose. You literally just put it there and you ignore it. So that
I don't view how many people are
you
viewing
don't have
it.
to worry about it. You're just putting it there because you've put it on TikTok, because you have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
That's actually how I started as well. So I encourage you to actually put your stuff, because obviously if you're going to do podcasting as well, it's going to be there on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
So you might as well have your podcast there and have all the other stuff. If you check my pages, right? One piece of content that I put on TikTok,
Yeah.
I put on YouTube, I put on Instagram, I put on Facebook. One piece of content. So in other platforms, it blows up, in others, it doesn't. So out of all the 4 platforms, it's TikTok, it's Instagram, it's Facebook, it's YouTube. The other 3, they are paying. It's only TikTok that's not paying. It's
Yeah.
one piece of content.
So which one is booming? Which platform is really booming for you?
YouTube obviously is doing well, but Facebook actually pays a lot more. It's just that because we've been blue ticking Facebook, like nobody's been taking Facebook seriously. We're only starting to wake up now. And now that we're trying to take it seriously and we're trying to monetize it and whatever, then we are now taking it seriously. But in terms of money, Facebook, but YouTube, like between the two, it's more or less the same thing, So what I'm trying to say is that one piece of content, in as much as you want to grow your TikTok, put it in all platforms.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I disturbed you. You're still telling me other things that
No,
you're
I
busy
like
with.
this. Yeah, I'm learning. Yeah.
Sure.
I'm learning here because I need to learn this so that then I can. Yeah.
Grow in all platforms.
yeah.
Yeah, because it's more like having you know, a variety of things.
Yeah.
There are people who are on Facebook who don't like TikTok because they feel like TikTok is juvenile, you know. So those people get to have the same content on Facebook or on Instagram, those who feel like, you know, they're the creme de la creme of social media, you know. And then others, they find it on YouTube because YouTube people really just want to sit and consume long form content, you know. So even when they bump into your stuff, they really just sit and they take their time and they watch. So you literally have nothing to lose when you take one piece of content and you spread it across the board for different types of audience. Yeah. Okay, what else are you busy with? You're still telling me stuff you are busy with.
Currently, that's what I'm busy with.
Okay.
Yeah. Gonna start a business
Okay.
soon. Still doing my business planning and stuff. This is gonna sound like I'm always favoring people living with disabilities, but on this business, I'm planning to just hire people living with disabilities
Of which you
because I've
should.
noticed that people living with disabilities are struggling to find jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you don't have to feel bad about that, you know. Lately, women have been empowered, you know. And the reason why women have been empowered is because of this 50-50 thing, you know, trying to get them to be, to have jobs, to occupy, especially industrial spaces where it was male dominant in the past. So having to bring in more women, it's not that they're favoring women now, it's just to equalize things. So even if you are saying that you want to start a business and you want to hire people with disabilities, it's not that you're favoring them, it's that you're just trying to balance the equation to say, okay, in as much as there are so many of them who don't have jobs, you creating jobs for them, it's not you discriminating against those who don't have disabilities, of which is a good thing, you know.
it is,
And I feel like you being able to come forward and say, this is what I want to do, and we make a lot of noise about it. I do believe that almost every household or every second household, every village, there's always somebody with a disability. And when we know that there's a tribe, you know, there's a place where they can feel home, there's some sense of belonging. You get what I mean? Because in as much as we can say right now that somebody, like you said, that when you see somebody with a disability, don't be quick to just help them. Or don't be, sometimes even asking questions is offensive. Like, in as much as we can try to act as if we're not seeing, you get what I mean?
Yeah.
It's difficult, you know? So having a community that they can belong to, and when you say, I understand how you feel, what you're going through, the bullying that you've been through, the judgment, the weird looks, relatability, you know, it makes people feel at home. So even if you have to do something like that, I feel like you're not only going to be helping those that are disabled, but even their families as well. You know, because in a family of 5 people who are able and 1 disabled person, but then you come and you say, listen, your family member does not have to feel alone. We are here. It gives everybody else peace. You know, so yeah, no, I feel like you're on the right track. You should not even say, hey, what. Hit the
Yeah,
ground
it's
running.
just one of those thoughts, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you should never ever limit yourself, you know. You know, when it comes to this type of things. Because, like I said earlier on, I was giving an example with a women's conference to say, in as much as we can be advocating for women's conferences where women sit together and they learn from each other, we're not saying there's not a need for men to do the same, or other people or children or whatever. But where you see the need or you see the gap, you don't know. Maybe the reason why God has sustained you this far or this long is so that you can help other people. You know, because I do believe that right now there could be somebody who's either having a child who has a disability, or even an adult who has a disability, who has been struggling to accept or come to terms with whatever different thing that they have compared to other people. When they see people coming forward and speaking openly like this, it gives them that comfort. You know, that's why even with the podcast that you are saying that you're going to start,
Yeah.
I really, I'm rooting for you because it's gonna do that. You know, it's gonna do that thing, Yaore. When somebody's looking over on the phone or on TV and they're seeing people who have different types of disabilities, then it makes them even want to learn more about different people. I remember this other lady on this other show, Big Brother. She had I don't know, what do you call that vitiligo,
Oh, yeah,
you know.
remember.
And how she got to become confident was through watching somebody else on TV who decided that they're going to be a model with that condition, it boosted her confidence. Now look at her. Meaning that all the other people that are now coming after her, they don't have to struggle the same because she's looked at as a very confident person, but it took somebody else to share their story for her to be where she is. So it's literally pouring into somebody else's cup and then they point to the next person. And that's exactly what you're going to be doing when you start this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I can't really wait to start it now.
You should.
I'm
really
motivated
trying to
to
just say,
start it
listen.
as soon as possible.
Yeah, you should.
But yeah.
Okay, in closing, ne?
Okay.
Where do people get you on social media? Because of the things that you're gonna be busy with, so that when they wanna write to you and come through to your show or book you, to come and motivate, speak.
Okay,
Where do they get you?
So people can DM me on my Instagram.
Okay.
It's kyle.q.t.
Okay.
So Kyle is my nickname. It's a name that I use on the stage with friends, Yeah. You can find me on Instagram, kyle.q.t. And on YouTube to view my content. It's Thembekile Funani. Just that is just my channel.
Okay.
Then on TikTok, it's at Thembekile F. That's my page on TikTok. Yeah.
Okay. Aike nizwile bazalwane, that's exactly where you're gonna be able to get him when you wanna share stories. I'm actually excited and I'm rooting for, like I really am. I'm excited for you that you can start with all the projects that you wanna start with, so that you can encourage other people as well. But for today, I hope this episode actually changed your life, guys. And it comforted you. We'll have to see each other on the flip side. A big shout out before we close, ne? Big shout out to E2 Hair Studios for my hair. A big shout out to Scent Studios, our home. A big shout out to Crown Lioness for dressing me up. A big shout out to Hydro Quench for giving us some water, to keep us hydrated. A big shout out to Ventures Indoni Lodge for making sure that we sleep peacefully whenever I am in the Johannesburg, guys. Like, you know what? My life is a luxury. Anyway, with that being said, thank you so much. I'll see you on the flip side. God bless you. Mwah.